Yeah, I do talk about colonialism. And the way we know colonialism, of course, we're in colonial Williamsburg, it's about colonizing land. I think we're more apt to talk about colonialism when we're talking about land, because we take over the land. And then when we're a little bit more historically comfortable, we can admit or talk about the colonization of people. But even when we talk about the takeover, the colonization of people, we're only willing to talk about it in terms of physical, the manual labor. Again, we do not talk about the deepest takeover that happens. It is the takeover of the mind. Think this way, rationalize this way, criticize this way, be creative this way. That is the most insidious, pernicious, and the most dangerous and difficult. That is the one that is the most oppressing. The Spaniards and the Catholic Church were in the Philippines since 1521. And then in 1898, the Americans came with Hollywood for 50 years. Now, the cross, right? The Catholic Church took about 350 years to colonize the minds of the Filipino people, to really get in there, to think Hispanically, to think like Spaniards. America comes in, it was violent from 1898 to about 1906, 600,000 Filipinos were killed. But what the Americans were able to accomplish in 50 years was even much deeper than what 350 years of Spain and the Cross did, because they had the movies. Hollywood did it in, let's say, about 20 years. When you have an offspring out of you, that kid is subject to a parent's power. That is colonialism. That is tremendous power, what that parent does to that child. And because, of course, politically, this is how Spain and the United States and Japan and any colonizing power prefaces their conquest. We are here because we love you. We want you to be free. We will teach you how to be free. If you think this way, do it this way. We love you. And we do that to our children. You know, I grew up around all this pain, all this suffering, all the massacres, all the wars, you know, like I have uncles who were picked up by the Marcos dictatorship. I was picked up by the Marcos dictatorship because of my writing. Here, at least in the theater, we get to talk about all that indigestion caused by history in a fun way and let it all out. And then out there, we can breathe, we communed, we got to know people who otherwise we would not have met in Williamsburg. And our world is hopefully a little wider and a little bit more fun, so that we're more used to dealing with really heavy things while still smiling and being convivial and congenial. Because I think that's the idea, that the purple, the bruising, when the purple settles, that's when something beautiful can happen. But you've got to go inside of it and let it all hang out. And then it'll settle.